Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and man, oh man, did I make some of you guys mad with my college football playoff selection show video earlier today. Some of y'all want to talk about Boogie. It ain't about who deserves it. It's about who the best teams in the country are, and Alabama deserves to be in because they're one of the best teams in the country, and then you guys just stop there. You don't go on to explain why Georgia got left out. If we're talking about the four best teams in the country, Georgia belongs in that conversation. So I will wait for your counterpoints, your counter arguments. Bottom line is I'm sticking with my guns. Florida State got screwed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the video I dropped earlier today. But I would rather us argue and discuss what this channel is all about, and that's the Tennessee Volunteers. The news came out just a couple of hours ago. Tennessee is going to be going to the Citrus Bowl to face off against the Iowa Hawkeyes on New Year's Day, 1 p.m. kickoff. And I kind of had mixed feelings about this. When I saw the Citrus Bowl, I said, boy, oh boy, here we go. And any of you guys that are my age, you're going to remember the quote from Steve Spurrier: you can't spell citrus without UT. And let me tell you something, that was not a compliment. That was an insult. Back when Steve Spurrier made those comments, was when Philip Fulmer took over in '93. Tennessee played in the Citrus Bowl 3 out of the first 4 years. You didn't want to play in the Citrus Bowl back then. You wanted to go play in the Orange Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. You didn't want to be in the Citrus Bowl, but I can also put some perspective on it. It's nice to be 8-4 and going and playing in the Citrus Bowl. It's been a while. I can still think back to the glory days under Fulmer, the late 90s, the early 2000s, but I can also look where this football program has been, the last 20 years. We are on the path in the right direction. I think Josh Heupel is the guy, but Tennessee's going to be playing on New Year's Day. That's something else I like about this. There was a lot of predictions that Tennessee was going to end up in the Gator Bowl. What I didn't like about that was played on Friday, December the 29th at noon. A lot of people were still going to be at work for that game, at least for this one. Most of you guys, most of the fan base, going to be off celebrating New Year's Day, and we'll be able to take in some Tennessee football. We're going to get into the matchup. We're going to talk about who Iowa is, who they played, what their numbers look like. But as always, do me a favor and go ahead and smash that thumbs up just below the video. That's quick, free, and easy. It helps this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you. We talk with you. That's why we can disagree. I love the debate. Those of you that feel like Alabama deserves to be in the college football playoff, I will fire back the reasons why I think they don't. We can argue. We can disagree. That's what family does. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. It's all about conversation, discussion, disagreements about college football, more specifically about Tennessee football. If you dig it, if you enjoy it, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Just a quick reminder, the NCAA stream this upcoming week going to be moved from Tuesday to Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, so make note of that. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about this. I saw Brent Hubbs put out an article over at VolQuest. This is not behind a paywall. This is a free article, so I can share it up on the screen here. And this is kind of the tale of two halves. This is the tale of two halves. You look at Andy Staples on the left. I think that's the way some of us old-timers reacted when we saw the Citrus Bowl. Now, you look at Jesse Simonton, the old Gator dog. You see him on the right there. That's how some of you young guns reacted. The Citrus Bowl, let's go play in the Citrus Bowl. But again, I can put some perspective on this, and I can start to get excited about playing on New Year's Day at 1 o'clock when all eyes are on Tennessee. I can get excited about a matchup that I think is going to favor Tennessee. Let's see what Brent Hubbs had to say about it. Tennessee football headed to Orlando for the Citrus Bowl. Says for the third in 5 years, Tennessee is going bowling in the Sunshine State. But for the first time since 2002, it will be in Orlando as the Vols will take on Iowa in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Can we leave Cheez-It out? Do we have to say Cheez-It? I guess they pay the money for a reason. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl on New Year's Day at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The SEC announced the bowl matchup Sunday afternoon following the college football playoffs final rankings. Rankings that have created plenty of debate and anger today in college football. Are you guys angry? Did you watch my video today and get angry? I mean, one of you left about 17 comments. Somebody said, Boogie, I wish you got paid a dime for every time somebody told you best teams in college football. But they continue to leave out the Georgia Bulldogs. But I digress. Here's a quote from Danny White. It says, the bowl dynamic has changed drastically since we started the college football playoff and college football playoff committee. The subjectivity and the politicking of yesterday is not really a thing anymore, is it not? Danny. Let's go take a look at the Final Four of the college football playoff. I think politicking is still heavily involved. He says it's a pretty objective system when the playoff committee finalizes their rankings, then contracts with the bowls come into play and people get plugged in based on where they are ranked. Fallout from there will have an impact on what bowl opportunities are there with the rest of the conference membership. Even with that, there's objectivity based on what we have earned across the season. Tennessee finished 8-4 with a 48-24 win over Vanderbilt. The Vols landed in Orlando because the SEC got 4 teams in the combination of New Year's Six bowls and college football playoffs. This is where it gives you a little perspective here. It says, in 3 seasons as the head coach, Josh Heupel has guided the Vols to a 26-12 record recording and 3 straight postseason games. 3 straight postseason games. Is Josh Heupel the cure for battered Vol syndrome? I mean, gone are the days. We didn't really go into this season saying, hey, I just hope we get to 6 wins. I just hope we get to the Music City Bowl, man, so we can go bowling. We're not talking like that anymore. Now we're upset that we went 8-4 instead of 9-3. The expectations are changing. They're shifting. Goes on to say in his first year, Tennessee fell 48-45 in overtime to Purdue in the Music City Bowl. Last year, obviously, the beatdown of Clemson in the Orange Bowl, 31-14. The January 1st game will kick off at 1 p.m. at Camping World Stadium. Tennessee's last appearance in Orlando was 2002 when they beat Michigan 45-17. 2024 game will mark the Vols' 6th appearance in Tampa, where Tennessee has a 4-1 record. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's had a pretty good record against some of these teams. I mean, you go back and look, Butch Jones in the Tax Slayer Bowl and beating Iowa, beating Northwestern, and then even, Jeremy Pruitt beating Indiana. I mean, Tennessee's had a pretty good record against some of these teams in the postseason, and I like the matchup against Iowa. You look at what they've done statistically, right, as a whole throughout the season. Offensively, really, really, really bad. They score 16.6 points per game. That's 130th in the country at points scored per game. Total offense, 238 yards per game, dead last. They are dead last in the country with total offense, 127th with passing offense, 107th in the country in rushing offense. Just not a very good team on the offensive side of the ball. Their quarterback's only thrown for a little under 1,100 yards, thrown more interceptions than touchdown. As a team, they've thrown 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Not very good at all as a team. They've ran for a little over 1,500 yards. They average 3.4 yards per carry. I think Tennessee's defense is going to be able to stop this team. I don't think you're going to have a problem. I think you're going to stop the run. I don't think anybody on that offense is going to test Tennessee. And I know some of you guys are going to talk about our secondary and our struggles on defense. I don't think Iowa can push the ball. I don't think they can score against the Vols. Defensively, they're pretty dang good. Top 5 in points per game. They only allow 13.2 points per game. Total defense, 5th in the country. Passing defense, 9th. Rushing defense, 13th in the country. So the question is, can Josh Heupel go score some points? Because that's, we know Tennessee struggled this year, right? They have struggled putting points up on the board. It's not a very typical Josh Heupel football team when you look at what they've done on the offensive side of the ball. Scoring around 31 points per game, that's not typical for Josh Heupel. So can they find answers? I think the first question is going to be, who's playing quarterback? Does Joe Milton elect to opt out? I've seen a lot of rumors lately, not a lot, but a handful of people saying that they are hearing that Joe Milton's going to opt out of the bowl game. Did I just say Josh Heupel? I know you guys will let me know in the comments. Joe Milton likely to opt out of the bowl game. We'll see. Does he hand the keys over to young Nico Iamaleava? If so, I think this offense is going to come out firing on all cylinders. It will be interesting to see if this thing gets passed off to Nico, what the offense looks like. Do they make any changes? Because, when we saw Nico against Vanderbilt, there was nothing. It was the same offense that Joe was running. A lot of the quick stuff on the outside. Do they change anything? Do they scheme anything up if the offense gets passed over to Nico? What do you guys think? Joe getting invited to the Reese Senior Bowl. He is going to prepare for the draft. No matter what anybody says, people can laugh and joke and say he's not going to the NFL. Yeah, he will. He'll get drafted. Some team will take a shot on Joe Milton. So does he focus on the Senior Bowl? Does he focus on the Combine? Does he focus on getting ready for the NFL? You look at Iowa's track record. Who have they beat this year? Who have they played? They are ranked 17th in the country. They finished the season at 10-3. The only ranked teams they played, Penn State beat them 31-0. 31-0. And then most recently against Michigan, they did not score a point, 26-0. So they played 2 ranked teams on the season, didn't score a point against either one. Their wins, Utah State, Iowa State, Western Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, the usual for these Big Ten teams. And that's why when I can talk out of both sides of my mouth and start to agree with some of you guys, you take some of these Big Ten teams and place them in the SEC, they're not going to run the table. They're not going to go undefeated. They're going to lose a game, 2 games, 3 games. So I get what some of you were saying when you talk about the best teams. But if you're going to talk about the best teams, you got to include Georgia in that. It is what it is. This nonsense of Florida State and an injured quarterback, it's a joke to me. It is a joke. Florida State earned it. Florida State proved it on the field. Well, Boogie, their quarterback only threw for 55 yards, and they won the game. But as you look at this Big Ten schedule, just who has Iowa beat? Nobody. They've not beat anybody. Purdue, Wisconsin, in a barn burner. Beat Wisconsin 15-6. Sounds like exciting football. Northwestern 10-7. Illinois 15-13. Nebraska 13-10. Again, you look at what Iowa's done offensively, how many points they score per game. If that's all Tennessee has to beat is 16 points per game, who you taking, Tennessee or Iowa? Just wanted to make a quick instant reaction video on Iowa. Once we get closer to the bowl game, it'll be full steam ahead, morning show, evening show. Probably going to go live on Wednesday night. I don't know if we're going to do that at 7 o'clock or at 8 o'clock. I will let you guys know. Make sure you're following us on all forms of social media. We're going to go live Wednesday night. We'll talk about this bowl game. We'll talk about the college football playoff. We'll talk about recruiting, the transfer portal, all kinds of fun stuff. But jump into the comment section. What do you think about the matchup against Iowa? What do you think about going to the Citrus Bowl instead of going to the Gator Bowl? I like the time slot. I like New Year's Day, 1 p.m. How you feeling about the matchup? What's your early predictions? Make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. If you disagree with me, you argue with me, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up regardless. Helps the channel. I would appreciate it. Go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We would appreciate that support. And also thank you to the members of the channel. You are who allow me to do this. I am grateful for you. You want to support this channel. You want to be able, for me to be able to do more content, more videos. Continue to drive this channel. We need you to hit the join button down below. You can give $1. That's all we're asking is $1 per month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of different fun perks and benefits. But if not, smash the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about this bowl game because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.